Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I will be giving you my review for The Boss Baby Family Business. It is the sequel to The Boss Baby, which came out in 2017, and I did see the first Boss Baby when it came out. I didn't see it in the theater, but I did see it like when it came out on the website that I usually watch movies on if I don't want to or if I don't need to see a certain movie in the theater. And I actually really enjoyed that one. DreamWorks Animation, they tend to really do a good job on a lot of the movies that they want to do. And that was one of them that I just enjoy. Like, it wasn't like, wow, that movie was amazing, but it was just a movie I enjoyed and I watched it again here and there. I haven't seen it in a while, but I actually did watch it one more time. I did watch it right before I watched the sequel to it, The Boss Baby Family Business. But enough about the first Boss Baby. And the Boss Baby Family Business, if I will say, if you enjoyed the first Boss Baby, you will enjoy this one. Like, it's just another DreamWorks Animation. They tend to do a really good job on making sequels to their movies, and this was one of them. Like, they they very rarely do a really bad job making sequels to a bunch of the movies. Now, if you've seen um what's it called? If you've seen the first Boss Baby, Tobey Maguire actually voiced the adult Tim in the movie, and he doesn't return in the sequel. Actually, James Marsden, who played like Cyclops in the X-Men movies, in the first like X movies, he was also in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. He actually voices Tim, not Tobey Maguire, which I wonder why. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure maybe Tobey Maguire didn't want to be in it. And Alec Baldwin does return to voice Boss Baby Ted, and Jeff Goldblum actually played a certain character in the movie. The funny thing is, you can hear Jeff Goldblum's character, and not only that, when you look at the character he's voicing, it kind of looks like him too. It's pretty funny. It is a funny movie too. There are a couple points where you're like, wait, points in the movie where you're like, wait, what? But it's just weird. And there are a couple things that happen in the movie that if you enjoy the first movie, that happens in the second movie, you're gonna be like, oh man, like a couple disappointing parts. I will say the first Boss Baby is better than the sequel. I still enjoyed this movie. Maybe I'll watch it again in my life. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. And there may the way the movie ends, there could be a Boss Baby 3, but all like I always say, it all depends on how the movie does in the box office and stuff. And as of now, I saw earlier today actually that the movie only made 23 million in the box office, and I actually watched it on Peacock on my TV. I didn't go to the theater to see this. I watched it on the streaming service because it not only came to theaters but it's also on the streaming service. And that's what sucks about a lot of these movies that are happening this year, that are simultaneously going on a streaming service and in theater. They might not make as much money. Godzilla versus Kong was actually one of the very lucky ones that made a lot of money in the box office, considering it was both on the streaming service HBO Max and in the theater, which I actually saw in theater, by the way, if no one knew that. So that's my spoiler-free review. I'm jumping into spoilers right now, so if you don't want to know anything about the sequel, I recommend you stop watching right now. I will say my rating for the movie is an 8 out of 10. If I remember correctly, I think I gave the first Boss Baby like an 8.5 out of 10. It doesn't matter. But 8 out of 10 for this movie. I recommend this movie if you enjoy the first Boss Baby. Now into spoilers. In the beginning, when you hear Tim narrating the movie on what's going on now, and there was one point in the movie where the character Tracy and Jimbo from the first movie as babies, you see them all grown up, including the triplets that are all cops, and then Jimbo's the mayor, and then Tracy's there, and Jimbo and Tracy are married. And even you barely see them in the movie. It's kind of weird. I wish we saw more of them and what they did. A couple points that when you see the triplets, they were funny actually when as the cops. And at one point in the movie, when Tim was about to say goodnight to his daughter, she just reaches out for his hand and for a handshake. I'm like, are you serious? Like, that's just weird. That was the weird moment in the movie. And then Tim decided to go up in the basement. I remember one scene, and he stumbles across Wizzy from the first movie, who reminds me a lot of like Gandalf, the way he looks and acts and stuff. And he does say in the first one and in the second one, where he says, "You shall not pass," and from that Gandalf says in Lord of the Rings, which was funny. And Tobey Maguire not returning, yeah, I wouldn't say it bothered me, but it was weird, like, because I got used to Tobey Maguire's voice in the first one. It was a little bit different hearing James Marsden's voice, but it is what it is. Um, and then after that scene, Tim hears something in his baby's in his baby's room. I think, yeah, Tabitha was the name, and he goes in there and he at first thought, and then it was funny when she closed the door and scared the crap out of him, and she's like, "Hi, Daddy," and he's like, and he passes out because he can't believe it's happening again. It was funny. Then she wakes him up and stuff like that. And when she was able to get her Uncle Ted, the boss baby, to come to the house, he arrives very, very similar to that house in the second one as he did in the first one. But instead of arriving in a taxi, he arrives in a helicopter and he's walking down the sidewalk, kicks a bike, and he's like this with his suit and everything, which was funny. And and at one point when Tabitha revealed to the uncle that she can speak, he didn't remember anything about it, which I was like, oh wow, he doesn't remember all of it, at it at all. So when they go to the baby court, when they are when they're on the pacifier drugs, um, he then it comes back to him and he remembers it all, and which was honestly, I'm glad they were able to do that instead of him telling him like, oh, you were a great guy, and especially when he has a statue of him as a baby because he saved Baby Core in the first one. And at one point when they go up to the elevator and they're looking at the big globe, Tim starts acting like Godzilla, but that was pretty funny. And if I remember correctly, I think you hear a little bit of Godzilla's theme. I may be wrong. I can't remember. And like I said, that's when they introduced Jeff Goldblum's character, Dr. Armstrong, and this character looked exactly like Jeff Goldblum with the glasses and the hair and the acting and everything. Like, Jeff Goldblum was probably my favorite character this entire movie. He's one of my favorites too, so that helped. The pony in this movie was just weird. I don't even remember the name. It doesn't matter. It was weird in this movie, especially when Ted was kissing it. I was like, okay, this is just weird. At one point when they were when they were trying to get to the school, and they were on that pony, they went into a theater and the movie Spirit was playing, a movie I watched a lot when I was a little kid, which that was actually pretty cool. Like a little bit of a throwback for which DreamWorks Animation made so that they could do that. I was a little confused and I didn't really like it that Tim had the same voice as when he turned back into the kid. It's not a big deal, but it was a bit weird, like, cause like since he had the same voice, how did her kid, and his wife not recognize right away? And not only that, you'd think that they've seen those photos enough time him as a kid, they'd be like, wait, why the hell you look like my husband slash dad? And even Tim's parents, I mean, mom and dad, when they came into the movie later on, they kind of were like, why do you look like Tim? Oh, but he has glasses. Like, why? It's like a Clark Kent situation. It was just weird, honestly. And Jeff Goldblum's character, he was a baby. I kind of saw it coming, but what I was expecting was he was going to be like he used to be a baby, similar to the character from the first Boss Baby, where he used to be a baby and Baby Core did him wrong. And it was actually a little bit different, which I didn't mind. He just wants to get rid of parents because parents do a lot of bad things that kids don't, which is not a bad plan. And he was actually a virtual teacher on a TV screen in the movie, which kind of reminded me of how this past year it's been for a lot of schools, and myself included at my college, how kids had to be virtual online, which sucked in general. And when there was a cool Star Trek reference when he did this as Spock, That was cool, and I thought that was funny, even though I've never watched Star Trek. um, at one point, when what's his name? Ted, the boss baby, when he went down to the tree and he stumbles across the baby ninjas. He just starts doing Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, and, like he could take on the ninjas, which was funny. And when he was telling Ted his plan and stuff, and he says B Day, I wonder if it's a reference to D Day. I mean, I don't know if that sounds stupid. I know B Day is also birthday. Uh, could it be a D Day reference? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was cool in one point in the movie where Tabitha, when she had the old letter that Tim sent to Boss Baby when in the first movie, that was cool, and you can hear the kid's voice in the background repeating the letter. It was a cool little throwback. And at one point, and so at that point, I'm just enjoying the movie and stuff like that. And my question is, the mother, she answers the call that Baby Core was using to call him. She's like, "I'm listening," and then I'm like, "Wait, does she know, or was she just curious as to what was going on?" That the way it ended like that makes me think that there could be a Boss Baby 3. There is, cool, I'll watch it. If there isn't, that'll I won't be saying disappointing. It wouldn't surprise me because as of now, this movie doesn't look like it's doing good in the box office. It is what it is. It was honestly a good ending too, right before the credits when Jeff Goldblum's character goes back to his family and he's with his mom and dad again. And that was cool. I like that. Good way to end it for his character. And one thing I will say that I didn't really like in this movie is that I wish Ted, the boss baby, he like reunited with his friends, Jimbo, Tracy, the triplets in the first one. Just even if it was just a few seconds, I wish that they kind of exchanged dialogue with one another. It would have been cool, but they didn't. It is what it is. And again, my rating is 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review for the Boss Baby Family Business. Boss Baby 3, maybe. Again, my rating is 8 out of 10 for this movie. And I really recommend this movie. If you've seen and enjoyed The Boss Baby back in 2017, you'll enjoy this one. So, again, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I know it's a long one. I can already tell I'm at almost 13 minutes. So if you could do me a favor, like and or subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it. And you give my Instagram and or Twitter a follow. The links are in the description below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Boss Baby Family Business if you saw it. And I appreciate you watching this video. Have a good day.